Yo, I'm not even gonna say anything, man. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna keep going. Nothing about this makes sense. Nothing about this makes sense. I'm waiting for y'all to come back because, bro, like this shit is crazy. Oh man, whatever. We gonna push through. It's quieter on the block anyway. Bro. Waiting for more people to come back. If not, I'll just start in like 2 minutes. And people could just watch on the playback. All right, guys. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry about that, but there's only so much apologizing I feel like I'm responsible for. The only thing I can say is that I probably should have went to the other park. But that being said, what is happening right now is not normal. I literally have 3 to 4 bars. 4 bars means the internet cannot get any better. So I don't know why this is happening, but at the same time I kind of do. But you know, I don't want to sound like a lunatic, so I'm just going to act like, you know, nothing happened. But anyway, I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, yes, I do. We were talking about the omens that the Aztecs saw before their eventual takedown. And they're very, very similar to the ones that occurred. Now, it's not only the omens that the Aztecs saw, but it was the omens that were going around worldwide, because there was a ginormous takedown of the previous ruling group of people. Now, these people were getting taken down for a while, right? They were getting poked and nudged at for a while. Excuse me, but what happened in the Middle Ages, that was the beginning of the end for them. And then what happened in the 1500s was the most gruesome part. And the end of their colonization, or the completion of their colonization, probably occurred during this time that they're calling their Independence Day. So a lot of these people are celebrating their colonization, the completion of their colonization, which is incredible. They don't even know. But what's worse is that they don't even care. But anyway, let's continue to read. So we're going to read another list I have of the omens. 1, a flame, a tongue of fire appeared in the heavens in the east for a full year, causing panic among the people. Right? Now, there are many different comets you could say that represented. You know, you could say that was Comet Swan in 2019. That is the comet that I'm going to read about in a few minutes, and that arrived in 2017, and it was one of the earliest comets that they spotted. And guess what? That comet is reaching its brightest point, its apex, in 10 days. The one that they spotted in 2017, the one that's 7 years away from 2024. Yeah, that's right, that one. Hey, shalom, brother. Man, I don't know what's going on, bro. But thanks for sticking around, bro. Appreciate you. The temple of God Huxtapotli mysteriously caught fire. That was another. A comet with a great flaming tail traveled from west to east. So there were more than one comet. There's more than one comet. There was one that came from the east, and then there was another that went from west to east. So there were different comets that happened, right? The waters of Lake Texcoco became irrigated and flooded many of the Aztec houses. So we already read that. Two-headed men were taken to Montezuma, but when he looked upon them, they vanished. And then after that, Cortez came. So why am I saying all this? Because in 2017, if you guys don't know it, that was the beginning of the sign that speaks about in Revelation 12, with the woman in the sky and stuff like that. That happened in 2017. And they also spotted this comet, right? I have to pull it up because there's so many papers here. So give me some, actually. But they spotted that comet in 2017. It's reaching its apex in 10 days. Oh my gosh. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So, looking for comet C 2000 or 2017 K2, now in dark skies. So, this comet that's talking about, it was discovered on May 21st, 2017. And when I was into like astronomy a little bit earlier in my research and stuff, I noticed this comet. I was like, well, that's interesting. But it wasn't that bright. It was just there. The thing is that they can't really see it. It's kind of invisible. But you're almost like just about to start seeing it now. So it was like, it's going to take people by surprise if you want to think of it that way. Let's chill at this bus stop for a bit. I'm hot. I didn't bring no water with me. All right. We chilling. So, it's called Comet Pan-STARRS. And let me see. Let's get to the point. Saturn and Uranus when they first saw it. Now it's in the inner solar system with to Earth on July 14th. The comet will be close to the sun several months later on December 19th. So it's going to be even closer on around the first day of winter, which also I found interesting because these dates are crazy. With a small telescope, you should be able to spot the comet throughout the summer. I don't know why I printed out all these different pages. Let me see. Okay, I think that's what I wanted to read about the comet. All right, so I read about the Aztecs. I read about the fact that Pluto came during their time period and all this stuff came. First they saw a comet and then everything else went to what it went to. So now I want to read to you guys the story of the 70 shepherds. And for those who already know, this is just going to be a recap. But for those that don't know about this, I guess fasten your seatbelts because this is very prevalent. This is in the book of Enoch, and this is in chapter 89. And I'm gonna start at verse 46. And I'll move around in a second. I'm just taking a break. And it went And it went to it and spoke with it alone and raised up that ram and made it the prince and the leader of the sheep. And during all this, the dogs oppressed the sheep. So this whole thing is pretty much like an allegory of the whole situation of what happened to the ancient Israelites, them being the sheep and the rest of the animals being the other nations. But I'm skipping down to the last captivity, or the last set of captivities that the sheep have to go through. And first the ram pursued that second ram, and that second ram rose and fled before it. And I looked until those dogs made the first ram fall. And that second ram rose up and led the small sheep. And that ram begat many sheep and fell asleep. And a small sheep became a ram in place of it, became the prince and leader of those sheep. And those sheep grew and increased, while the dogs and the foxes and the wild boar were afraid and fled from it. And that ram butted and killed all the animals, and those animals did not again prevail amongst the sheep, but did not cease anything further from then. Let me skip down. I want to get to the part of the city shepherds. Okay, let me just skip down to this. This is verse 53. And he sent many other sheep to those sheep to testify to them and to lament over them. And after this, I saw how they left the house of the Lord of the sheep and his tower and went astray in everything. And their eyes were blinded. And I saw how the Lord of the sheep wrought much slaughter among them in their pastures, until those sheep themselves invited that slaughter and betrayed his place. And he gave them into the hands of the lions and the tigers and the wolves and the hyenas, and into the hands of the foxes and to all the animals. And those wild animals began to tear those sheep into pieces. And I saw how he left that house of theirs and their tower, and gave them into all the hands of the lions, so that they may tear them into pieces and devour them, into the hands of all the animals. And I began to cry out with all my power, to call the Lord of the sheep to represent him coming concerning the sheep, that all the wild animals were devouring them. So this is what happened. We became really wicked, bro. The same way how the Aztecs, they became really, really wicked. And it was just time to go, bro. It was time to go. Continuing. But he remained still, although he rejoiced that they were devoured, swallowed up, and carried off. And he gave them into the hands of all the animals for food. And he called 70 shepherds, and cast off those sheep, so that they might pasture them. And he said to the shepherds and to their companions, each one of you from now on is to pasture the sheep, and do whatever I command you. And I will hand them over to you, dully numbered, and will tell you which of them are to be destroyed, and destroy them. And he handed those sheep over to them. And he called mother and said to him, observe and see everything that these shepherds do against these sheep, for they will destroy from among them more than I have commanded them. So pretty much, guys, what happened is that I say all the time that, you know, the Most High, he's on your side. Even when he's so-called punishing you, he's not doing it out of spite. He's doing it to purge you from your evil, so you know that you could be near him, because anything with evil can't be near him. Even if he wanted to, he couldn't do that. That's just against the rules that he has made. Wait for his car to pass. So even us getting enslaved and put into captivity, a lot of things that actually happened to us were not really supposed to happen. Meaning, if our oppressors had any sort of shame, half of what happened to us, even 3/3, I'm tripping. 3/3. 3/4 of what happened to us would not have even happened. But they were excessive. This is why he warned us. He was going to bring against us a cruel people. I'm gonna have to move, bro. It's loud as hell. I'm gonna have to move. He was going to bring against us a nation, a fierce nation, that's the word, that had no care for women, children, the old, or nothing. Like, they don't care. And they have a strong hate of particularly the sheep, as it's saying. And he didn't just give it to one nation. He didn't just give it to the so-called, quote-unquote, white man. No, he gave them to all the nations. To all these different nations. You know? Shalom, Yahshua the Unifier, Spiritual Life Family, Nation. Keep pushing. Hope all is well on y'all side on the map. Yeah, I'm good, bro. Can't complain. Just taking it a day at a time, you feel me? Hope you're doing well, bro. Hope your situation is better as well. But let's continue to read. And I will hand them over to you, dully numbered, and will tell you which of them are to be destroyed and destroy them. Now, another thing, a lot of our leadership, a lot of, the people who were in authority, they were oppressing the good ones. The ones that were not wicked among us, right? They were sullying the ones that actually had a good spirit, and they were darkening them, right? So he had to purge us from them. That's why he just said, destroy the ones I tell you to destroy. Now, did they do that? No, they did not care. And that's why they're going to be destroyed. Because what they have done after given the power to do certain things, like, bro, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Bro, the fact that we're celebrating this day is a testament to how wicked these people are. Just think about that. The fact that we are celebrating a day like this is a huge testament to how demonic these people are. Crazy, man. Good to catch another live. Hayya, shalom. Al-Atayak. Al-Ataak. May peace be with you, brother. Okay. I didn't know how this, I don't know what that means, but may peace be with you too, bro. Appreciate you stopping by. As always, bro. I hope your situation got better, bro. Hope everything is well. What the heck? There's a trail? Nah. What? I don't want to go down it, but I'm a curious person, bro. Damn. Nah, I'm curious, bro. I'm curious. I want to know. I did not know there was a trail up here. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm sorry if it shuts off. If it shuts off, I'm gonna go back. If the internet gets bad, I'm gonna go back. Anyway, and he called another and said to him, observe and see everything these shepherds do against these sheep, for they will destroy from among them more than I have commanded them, and write down all the excess and destruction which is wrought wrought by the shepherds. How many they destroy at my command, and how many they destroy of their own volition. Write down against each shepherd individually all that he destroys. Read out in front of me exactly how many they destroy of their own volition, and how many are handed over for destruction, so that this may be a testimony for me against them. See that? Where am I, bro? No. Hold on. I can't. Because I'm like, I don't know where I am. And I don't want to get lost low-key. I don't want to get lost low-key. That's why I always say we have to look at everything as a cruel joke, because that is truly how our enemy is, such as all of our holidays being a celebration of our past and continual destruction. It's like, bro, I don't see how. I don't know, bro. I can't understand that mindset, and I don't really want to, because it's a very dark place you have to be in to abuse someone and then force them to celebrate your abuse. and then get mad when you don't. Say you're unpatriotic, get out my country. You're gonna steal someone's country and tell them get out my country. And even if you don't think that we are the owners of the land, you're still gonna tell someone else to get out a land that you don't even own or not even from. Like, I can't, bro. But hold on, I need to make sure what the hell I am before I keep walking. Oh man, I wish you guys could feel this. It's really nice. It's really nice. It's like a good 83 degrees. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful day. All right, I don't think I'm gonna get lost, but I just want to know, like, I've never seen this. I've never seen this trail before. So one thing I do like about Yonkers, they have a lot of trails. So even though I'm living in a hood ass area, I mean, it's not that bad. You know, people are still, you know, they're nice. They're nice to me. They think I'm cool because I wear all my Indian gear. But they're chill with me. I can't say that for everyone else though. Oh, this is some new stuff, bro. I don't know where the hell I am, but it's all good. I don't go on the trail any longer though, because I don't want the internet to shut off. Most I would be your guide if you well, I'm tripping, bro. I'm sorry, it's kind of sunny. The Most High will guide you back if you do. Yeah, I'm pretty good with directions anyway. I was kind of like half joking. Sometimes I don't even like look at my phone just so like I could, you know, test my navigation skills. Navigation's in my blood, bro. You already know, bro. But anyway, let me continue to read. And I may see what they do, whether they abide by my command with which I have commanded them or not. But they must not know this. So, wow. It's been a long time since I read this. Because I was just like, you know what? I feel like reading the 70 Shepherds on the live. I just came up with this topic like a few hours ago. And I was just like, I want to read that. But this is crazy. So that's why a lot of these, you know, these Gentiles don't know and they're not willing to know. It's kind of being blocked from them to know. That's why they think that we're the lowest of the low, that we don't have a culture, that we're this, we're that. That's because it's been hidden from them. And that's so that, and I have to read, you know, later on to confirm this, but to me, it sounds like this is being blocked from their knowledge to test their spirit. Because if they know who we are, then they're not going to do certain things. But that's a carnal way of, you know, trying to judge someone or figure out how their spirit truly is. It's almost like treating someone nicely who's poor and you don't know that they're a king. If you treat them nicely because they're a king who's poor, then that doesn't really mean anything, you know. Grand Rising, my brother. Hey, what's going on, sister? Long time no see. Hearts are hardened. They are. Hearts are hardened. Hey, oh, I didn't even think about that. Like Pharaoh, hearts are hardened. But there's not just one Pharaoh this time. I don't even know if there was one Pharaoh in so-called Egypt, but I know they had a king, and his heart got hardened. Now, there are 70 of them. There's 70 of them. So, hey, I don't know if there's 70, but there's more than one. There's more than one. Now, let's continue. But they must not know this, and you must not show this to them, nor reprove them, but only write down against each individual in his time all that the shepherds destroy and bring it up to me. You see, and this goes back to a video that, you know, Big Judah did a few months ago. You know, I haven't really been watching anyone's stuff, you know, including Big Judah lately, because I've been doing my own thing. But there's a video I saw months ago from him, and bro, he was you know, pretty much explaining that when you share punishment or approval, you're showing your disdain You're not showing love. And that's what these people actually think. Now, by love, I'm really talking about like favor. He favors those who he chastises. Like he beats you right away if he actually really like loves you. He's not going to let it linger, because that means that, first of all, it means that you have a humble spirit to be able to accept what he has to like teach you. He knows that you're going to get it right away, right? Like, I can't even give him an example, but you already know. Like, if something happens to you, like, usually you're going to know it's because you did something, and you're going to know why. You know, but he does that to those who he loves. Those who he hates, he doesn't say anything, and then he lets everything come down on you at once. So, hey, that's what's happening right here. Let's continue. So he says, don't reprove them, don't tell them nothing, just write it down. And I think that's what's, bro, this is so refreshing to read, because I know, like, I don't know, if I feel like this, I already know other people possibly feel like this, to where, you know, they feel like these people get away with everything. You know, no one reproves them of anything. Like, they are so, like, they think they're so guiltless. They walk around, like, enjoying the luxuries of other people's stuff and don't care. And they think it's because God is so loving and he doesn't punish anybody. That's not what it is. It's really not what it is. There's going to be a really rude awakening, a really big rude awakening that occurs to many different people. Anyway, let's read. And all this, but they must not know this, and you must not show this to them, nor reprove them, but only write down against each individual in his time all that the shepherds destroy, and bring it up to me. And I looked until those shepherds pastured at their times. Sorry, I lost my space. And they began to kill and to destroy more than they were commanded, and they gave those sheep into the hands of the lions. And the lions and the tigers devoured and swallowed up the majority of those sheep, and the wild boars devoured with them, and they burnt down that tower and demolished that house. And I was extremely sad about the tower, because that house of the sheep had been demolished. And after that, I was unable to see whether those sheep went into that house. And the shepherds and their companions handed those sheep over to all the animals, so that they might devour them. Each one of them at his time received an exact number, and for each one of them, one after the other, there was written in a book how many of them he destroyed. Now, what is this referring to, guys? You have to cross-reference this with Revelation chapter 6. Verse 9, and when he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, doest thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? Remember what he said to the angels, right? Don't reprove them, just take notes. And what is John the Revelator pretty much saying? How long are you going to suffer this to happen, right? How long? Wow, what a great way to out it. I mean, think about it. The Most High Great Spirit will free all of his chosen children and bring true balance. Khan, indeed, bro. Handed us over to the nations and to the four corners. That's right. That's right. And white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants and also their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. Now you can even cross-reference this with a so-called Indian prophet called Vavoka and Ghostni, because this is literally what this guy said. He said that he connected with the heavens And he saw the white robes. He saw the children that were taken by the white man's diseases in white robes. And they said, don't weep for us. We're happy. Just live out your life. Right? That's what they said. Don't weep for us. We're good. You can even cross-reference this with that. You know? Said, don't fight the white man. Just work on yourself. Don't hate the white man because he's going to be destroyed. He has a lot of debts to pay. And so does everyone else. It's not just him. It's everyone else. So don't hate them. Just do your thing. Try to get closer. Worry about him. Eyes on the prize. Ignore them. Ignore them. That is the best thing you could do for yourselves. Can you read the other precept again, where the Lord said they devoured the sheep more than he planned? Sure, no problem, bro. I got you. I got you, bro. These hills are crazy, bro. Oh, man. And I will hand them over to you, dully numbered, and will tell you which of them are to be destroyed and destroy them. And he handed those sheep over to them. And he called another and said to him, observe and see everything these shepherds do against these sheep, for they will destroy from among them more than I have commanded them. And write down all the excess and destruction which is wrought by the shepherds, how many they destroy at my command, and how many they destroy of their own volition. Write down against each shepherd individually all that he destroys. And read out in front of me exactly how many they destroy of their own volition, and how many are handed over for destruction, so that this may be a testimony for me against them, so that I may know all the deeds of the shepherds in order to hand them over for judgment. Now, there's also something I want to talk about because he brought it up. Notice how he is going to judge the sheep, but who is he really going to judge? Who is he really looking to? The shepherds. Because the shepherds are the ones that are in charge. Why do you think the Gentiles, even though the Gentiles were wicked as hell, right? How come they got to take our land? Because when you're in a position of rulership, it's like king of the hill. No one's worrying about what everyone on the bottom of the hill is doing, because, you know, when you're at the bottom of the hill, it's kind of hard to get the full sun, you know? So they had their opportunity to spend enough time in the sun. Let's see what you do. Okay, you don't know how to do that? Okay, well, my people are going to return. And I'm not going to let any of the wicked ones return. I'm only going to select a few of the righteous ones, and they're going to repopulate the earth, pretty much. And if any of the Gentiles are going to follow, well, you know, they can latch onto their backs. But that's how it's really going to be. Because, again, it really is like, all right, well, if you had the power, then you have the responsibility. So let's continue. And, okay. Oh, yeah, I was reading Revelation. And white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants and also their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. All right, now let's go back. Let's go back. All right, it's getting kind of hot. I ain't gonna lie, bro. All right. I think it's a dead end. I can't even go that way. I want to stay over here anyway. And each one killed and destroyed more than was prescribed. And I began to weep and moan very much because of those sheep. And likewise, in the vision, I saw that one who wrote how each day he wrote down each one that was destroyed by those shepherds. And he brought up and presented the whole book to the Lord for the sheep, everything they had done, and all that each one of them had made away with, and all that they had handed over to destruction. This is all going to happen. I don't care what any of these people say. Remember, guys, I want you to remember that this is going to happen. And the reason why I really want you guys to know that this is going to happen. You will be redeemed, or your honor will be restored. Because this is some psychologically deep stuff, bro. Listen, if the white man and the rest of the nations don't get punished, then the Most High is evil. And when they say we like, why are you bringing up this? Why are you bringing up that? Oh, God is all love. God's not going to punish me. That doesn't matter. They're pretty much professing that the Most High is unjust and evil. So you cannot listen to these people. You cannot listen to these people, man. These people are narcissists. And they don't want to be held accountable for anything. So yeah, that's why I keep bro, I don't want to talk about the other nations and stuff, but the reason why I do is because they have such a psychological hold on our people, bro. If all of us ignored them, I would never talk about them. I promise you I'd never talk about them, bro. Before I was even in YouTube, I did not care. I did not care. I literally looked at them like, oh, like, you're a dead man walking, bro. Like, that's it. Like, I really did not care. But man, they still have a psychological hold on people. Like, people still care what they think and say. They're supposed to be following us. Like, what the hell? That's crazy, bro. Oh man. Jude chapter 1, verse 22 and 23. And of some have compassion, making a difference, and others save with fear, pulling them out of the fire, hating even the garment spotted by the flesh. It's a great precept, bro. It's a great precept. I need water, bro. There's no stores around here. All right, let's continue to read. And likewise, in the vision, I already read that. And the book was read out in front of the Lord of the sheep. And he took the book in his hand, read it, sealed it, and put it down. And after this, I saw how the shepherds pastured for 12 hours. And behold, 3 of those sheep returned and arrived, and came and began to build up all that had fallen down from the house. But the wild boars hindered them, so they could not. And they again began to build as before, and they raised up that tower. What the hell? I keep losing my spot. But all the bread on it was unclean and was not pure. So it's talking about the Greeks' abomination of desolation. And besides all this, the eyes of these sheep were blinded so that they could not see, and their shepherds likewise. Yo, I was going to say this for the video that I'm working on. Damn, bro. I was going to say this for the video I was working on for the Garfuna, for my sister to explain this, but I want to explain a dream that my sister had. Now, let me say this real quick. Bay leaves, you could use them to pretty much almost like open up your crown chakra, and you can almost get like visions while you sleep. You could probably get it like while you're awake, but they work while you're asleep. So I put bay leaves in my do-rag, right? Pretty much like she saw how our people were, like the state that they were in, and she said it felt the same way. Like the darkness that's surrounding us is it's crazy, bro. But yeah, she said that they just felt really like ignorant. like they didn't know anything and they didn't want to know anything. And the most craziest part about this dream, guys, was that she saw a giant. She saw a blonde-haired, blue-eyed giant with dreads. And like the people were like looking up to it, almost worshiping it. She said that it was the ugliest thing she had ever seen. But they revered this giant man, this blonde-haired, blue-eyed, dread-headed giant. It was bro. That dream is too crazy. That dream's too crazy. But yeah, she literally dreamed about St. Vincent. That's the island that my forefathers were from. Yes, that's literally how St. Vincent's described. It's like the only small island with a volcano on it. So that was really interesting. Wow, just getting out. Oh, excuse me. I cannot read. It's too bright. Wow, just getting on. Finally caught your lie. Oh, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. So yeah, this stuff is like, it's really hitting home. It's really hitting home. But anyway, we're gonna read. We're gonna keep reading. And they again began to build as before, and they raised up that tower, and it was called the High Tower. And they began again to build a table before the... Appreciate being here. All right, let me read that again. I already read that anyway, so let me just skip down. And besides all this, the eyes of these sheep were blinded so that they could not see, and their shepherds likewise. And they handed yet more of them over to their shepherds for destruction. And they trampled upon the sheep with their feet and devoured them. I'm just periodically checking if it disconnects. But the Lord of the sheep remained still until all the sheep were scattered abroad and had mixed with them. See that? And had mixed with them. The shepherds mixed with them. So when you see the white robes and all the quote unquote Gentiles, that's talking about them. The ones that got mixed up. It's not talking about, come on guys. Like, come on. This is why, the Catholic Church does not approve of the book of Enoch. That's why. Anyway, and they did not save them from the hands of the animals. And that one who wrote the book brought it up, showed it, and read it out in the dwelling of the Lord of the sheep. And he entreated him on behalf of them, and petitioned him, and he showed him all the deeds of their shepherds, and testified in front of him against all the shepherds. And he took the book and put it down by him and went out. And I looked until the time that 35 shepherds had pastured the sheep in the same way, and each individually they all completed their time like the first ones, and others received them. Come on. I'm trying to read, but the wind is blowing my paper. And others received them into their hands to pasture them at their time, and each shepherd had his own time. And after this I saw in the vision all the birds of the sky coming, the eagles, the vultures, and the kites, and the ravens. But the eagle led all the birds. And they began to devour those sheep, to pluck out their eyes, and to devour their flesh. The eagle. The eagle. Hey, shalom, bro. Finally made it. Thank you for stopping by, sister. And I cried out and lamented in my sheep because of that shepherd who pastured the sheep. Now, where am I, bro? I'm getting low-key scared. I'm not gonna lie. Where am I? It doesn't matter. And I looked until those sheep were devoured by those dogs, and by the eagles, and by the kites, and they left them neither flesh, nor skin, nor sinew, until all their bones remained, and their bones fell upon the ground, and the sheep became few. Hold on. What is this talking about? The dry bones in the valley. They ate everything from us. They took all of our culture. and claimed it for themselves. They took all of our knowledge and claimed it for themselves. And then say we have nothing because they left us with nothing. They ate everything. They took everything. You get it? Everything. And I looked until the time that 23 shepherds had pastured, and they completed, each in his time, 58 times. Now, let me also say this. Did the Most High do this? No. All he did was give us into their hands. He warned us that they would do this because they're wicked. But he didn't tell them to do this. He told them to do something, right? He told them to destroy a certain sect of us. But this that they did, they were not supposed to do. He just knew that they would do it, which is why he told us, you should not do this or else this will happen. But that's not the same thing as him. Tell me where I left off. Because I wasn't looking at the phone. That's my bad. Let me know where I left off, please. Someone let me know where I left off. And I'll start from there again. Yeah, I know. I think I ran or walked into a dead zone or something. What the? I was like, the time is going up every 2 seconds. Let me know if it's still buffering, guys. Please let me know. Let me know if it's still buffering. I'm getting away from that area. I ain't gonna lie, I'm about to go buy some water. I'm really, really thirsty. And we'll continue in a second. We'll continue in a second. It's okay here? Okay. And just so I say this, and this isn't financial advice or nothing like that. It's for entertainment purposes only. But for those who catch this, I'll highly suggest look into the ISO 222 coins in the crypto market. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna get a drink from the store, and then we'll continue to read. I don't know if this internet is still working or not. Brother said it was good, but I don't know. I think I'm in an Irish neighborhood, so listen. If I get looked at, don't be surprised. Yeah, I definitely am. I definitely am. Oh boy. You know what? I'm gonna just get water after. I'm almost finished. Nah, it is what it is, bro. I don't even know if they're messing with my internet or not. And whether they are or not, like, what am I gonna do about it, you know? But I'm gonna continue to read. I'm more so like, I'm worried about this area because anytime They got their separate neighborhoods. They act really unpredictable, if you know what I mean. Like, more up north in New York, the more you get is the worse it gets. Like, it's really bad up there. But let me see. So they began to open their eyes and see and cry to the sheep, but the sheep did not cry to them and did not listen to what they said to them, but were extremely deaf, and their eyes were extremely and excessively blind. So the children of this generation that pretty much were enslaved are not going to listen to them. They're not going to hear them. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that it's going to get excessively, their children and their children's children are going to get more excessively, quote unquote, woke. And I don't mean that in the derogatory, sarcastic sense. I mean, like, literally awakened. Right? Now it's buffering again. Are you kidding me? What is going on, bro? I'm just walking down the sidewalk. All right, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do like a full-scale video at another time. But anyway, let's just keep reading. Oh yeah, I was gonna say before, because I said this before, but this is also in the Indian prophecy of the Asanabe, the 7 fires. Because listen, guys, there's just so much hidden history. Like, we really don't truly know where some of these scriptures, quote unquote, came from. We don't really know. You know. Let's stop. All right. Go ahead. All right. Bet. Yeah, but their prophecy was that, the elders were going to be like, deaf. It literally says this too, or they were going to be blind or deaf, one of the two. But they would be awoken. I mean, not they, their children would be awoken, but their children would not hear them. So it would be up to the children to, to do what they had to do. And the elders just could not see it. So they had to die. And it was sad, but that's just what's going to happen, Anyway, and I saw in the vision how the ravens flew upon those lambs and took one of those lambs and dashed the sheep into pieces and devoured them. And I looked until horns came up on those lambs, but the ravens cast their horns down, and I looked until a big horn grew on one of those sheep, and their eyes were opened. Now this I don't get. Like, the other stuff I was able to precept, and I didn't say all the precepts that I have because I'm just not like a big study or nothing. But this horn that one of the sheep grew, I don't understand that. But let me read it again. And I looked until horns came up on those lambs, but the ravens cast their horns down. And I looked until a big horn grew on one of those sheep, and their eyes were opened. And I looked at them, and their eyes were opened, and it cried to the sheep, and the rams saw it, and they all ran to it. And beside all this, those eagles and those vultures and those ravens and kites were continually tearing the sheep in pieces and flying upon them and devouring them. And the sheep were silent, but the rams lamented and cried out. And those ravens battled and fought with it and wished to make away with its horn, but they did not prevail against it. And I looked at them until the shepherds and the eagles and vultures and kites came and cried to the ravens that they should dash the horn of the ram in pieces. So pretty much, like, obviously this sounds like, okay, now the sheep are starting to rise up. They're starting to grow a horn and get powers and stuff, but it's not enough to actually do anything. And the other animals are still able to destroy them. So that's exactly what they're doing. And they're pretty much coming together and doing that. Like, the more that we rise up is the harder their hand becomes, on the sheep, And they fought and battled with it and fought with them and cried out so that its help might come to it. And I looked at until that man who wrote down the names of the shepherds brought them up before the Lord of the sheep and came and helped that ram and showed it everything that its help was coming down. And I looked until that Lord of the sheep came to them in anger. All those who saw him fled, and they fled into the shadows in front of him. All the eagles and vultures and ravens and kites gathered together, brought with them all the wild sheep, and they came together and helped one another in order to dash that horn of the ram in pieces. So there's like a ram that's going on, and he's trying to. I don't really know what this means, bro, but I know this means on the surface. I just don't know what it means in reality, like prophetically. I don't know what it means. Let me see. Okay, we're still good. And I looked at that man who wrote the book at the command of the Lord until he opened the book of the destruction that those last 12 shepherds had wrought. And he showed in front of the Lord of the sheep that they had destroyed even more than those before them had. Wow. So these last group of people of this last captivity are even more wicked than the ones of the previous ones. So the Romans revived, or just the Romans in general, are the most wicked group of people, because they even slaughtered more of the sheep than any of the other ones did. That's crazy. And I looked until the Lord of the sheep came to them and took in his hand the staff of his anger and struck the earth, and the earth was split, and all the animals and the birds of the sky fell from those sheep and sank in the earth, and it closed over them. And I looked until a big sword was given to the sheep. Let's read that 3 more times. And I looked until a big sword was given to the sheep. And I looked until a big sword was given to the sheep. And the sheep went out against all the wild animals to kill them. And all animals and birds of the sky fled before them. You guys hear that? You guys see that? One more time. And I looked until a big sword was given to the sheep. So let's precept that. And let's start the precept with that dream that I had before I went on like a long break a few months ago, where I talked about how my house got invaded and all those different people were invading my house, right? All those debaucherous men, they invaded my house. You guys remember that? This is what it was talking about. And at the end, when it got so nasty, I was given a sword, right? I was given a sword. You feel me? I was given a sword. I can't see. Sounds good to me. Sounds to me. Anyway, let me get the other precept. Now I'm thirsty, bro. Hold on. So this is the Book of Mormon, and this is Mormon chapter 5, verse 19. 1 second. I'm actually shocked to see so-called black people in this area. But hold on 1 second. I remember that dream, sword. Yes. Yeah, I remember that dream too. I loved it too. But anyway, let's read this. And behold, the Lord hath preserved their blessings. This is talking about the Nephites. I didn't print out this part because it was just a lot to print. Like I'm trying to be easy on their ink. But anyway, the Nephites, I mean, not the Nephites, the Lamanites, or just the descendants of Joseph, this was talking about, they got scattered and destroyed by the Gentiles for their own wickedness. But let's see what happens after. And behold, the Lord hath reserved their blessings, which they might have received in the land, for the Gentiles who shall possess the land. But behold, it shall come to pass that they shall be driven and scattered by the Gentiles. And after they have been driven and scattered by the Gentiles, behold, then will the Lord remember the covenant which he made unto Abraham and unto all the house of Israel. And also the Lord remember the prayers of the righteous, which have been put up unto him for them. And then, O ye Gentiles, how can you stand before the power of God, except ye shall repent and turn from your evil ways? Know ye not that ye are in the hands of God? Know ye not that he hath all power? And at his great command the earth shall be rolled together as a scroll. That's another precept. Go back to Revelation 6, but let's read this one verse. Therefore repent ye and humble yourselves before him, lest he shall come out in justice against you. Let's wait for these to be able to pass by. Do you see that? Therefore repent ye and humble yourselves before him, lest he shall come out in justice against you. Lest a remnant. So how is he going to do it? It tells you right here. It tells you how, quote unquote, God is going to come out against the Gentiles. It tells you right here. Let's read it. Lest he shall come out in justice against you, lest a remnant of the seed of Jacob shall go forth among you as a lion and tear you in pieces, and there is none to deliver. That's how it's going to happen. That's how it's going to happen. A remnant of the seed of Jacob will come out as a lion against you and rip you into pieces. By who? By the way of justice. And it says that, quote unquote, God is going to come out after them. Through what? Through the sheep who have what? The sword. Who are the sheep? The descendants of Jacob. Let's go to Revelation 6. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. See? And the heaven departed as a scroll. Bro. Bro, are you for real, bro? I was off on a tangent, bro. Yo, let me know what was the last thing I said, if you guys can remember. That's annoying. This is getting annoying, bro. I need to get a different internet provider, bro. My service ends in 9 days. I'll never do it again with them, man. If you guys can't remember, please let me know where I left off so I don't have to. About the scroll? Oh, wow. Okay. So as we read in Mormon chapter 5, verse 23, it says, know ye not that he hath all power? At his great command, the earth shall be rolled together as a scroll. In Revelation 6, in the sixth seal, right, it says that all these different things happen, right? But skipping down to, where is it? To verse 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. And every man, whoa, I'm tripping, bro. All right, hold on, let me relax for a second, bro. My head is like getting dizzy. Okay. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. Every mountain and island removed out of their places, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, from the wrath of the Lamb. For this great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? This is the same thing as saying in Mormon chapter 5. And then it tells you in Mormon chapter 5 how he's going to enact his wrath. How is he going to do it? One, he's doing it through the earth with all the devastating things that happen. And then he's going to do it through the descendants or the remnant of Jacob. It's not your service, it's your subject. Trust me. It probably is, bro. It probably is. It probably is, bro. But, going back to what I said before. Therefore, repent ye and humble yourselves before him, lest he shall come out in justice against you, lest a remnant of the seed of Jacob shall go forth among you as a lion and tear you in pieces. There is none left to deliver. That's very, very self-explanatory. That's very, 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 very self-explanatory. You can't get around that. You can't say that the white robes are all the different Christian people that love Jesus. You can't say that. That's stupidity. You can't say it because it goes against what this says in its entirety. There's no replacement theology in this. You can't do it. It doesn't exist. So let's finish up. I'm tired. I don't want to go home now. Anyway. Whoa. Where was I? And I looked until a big sword was given to the sheep, and the sheep went out against all the wild animals to kill them, and all the animals and birds of the sky fled before them. And I looked until a throne was set up in a pleasant land, and the Lord of the sheep sat on it. And they took all the sealed books and opened the books in front of the Lord of the sheep. And the Lord called to those men, the 70 first white ones, commanded them to bring him in front of him the first star, which went before those stars, whose private parts were like horses. What the heck? And they brought them all in the front of him. And he said to that man who wrote in front of him, who was one of the 7 white ones, and said to him, oh man, take those 70 shepherds to whom I handed over the sheep, and who on their own authority took and killed more than I commanded them. And behold, I saw them all bound, and they all stood in front of him. And the judgment was held first on the stars, and they were judged and found guilty, and went to the place of damnation, and were thrown into a deep place, full of fire burning, and full of pillars of fire. And those 70 shepherds were judged and found guilty, and were also thrown into that abyss of fire. And I saw at that time how a similar abyss was opened in the middle of the earth, which was full of fire, and brought those blind sheep, and they were all judged and found guilty, and thrown into that abyss, and they burned. And that abyss was on the south of that house. And I saw those sheep burning, and their bones were burning. And I stood up and looked, and he folded up that old house, and they removed all the pillars and all the beams and ornaments of that house, and were folded up with it. And they removed it and put it in the place of the south of the land. And I looked until the Lord of the sheep brought a new house, larger and higher than the first one, and he set it up on the site of the first one that had been folded up. And all its pillars were new, and its ornaments were new and larger. So, I mean, moral of the story, I guess, is that don't worry about, what the other people are doing, because they're going to get judged, bro. And it's not even a judgment that any of us can even comprehend, because that's how much debt they built up against themselves, right? It really is just like that. Like, they just built up a lot of debt against themselves. So there's going to be judgment coming, bro. And, your redemption will draw. you know, I get upset because I just see how dishonored we are, you know. But you know, this definitely made me feel a lot better. Love the blue skies you've all been having in New York. Yeah, we really have been. I'm not even gonna lie. We've seen like the fluffiest clouds and stuff. I'm like, what? Like we have clouds? Like clouds? I forgot what a cloud was for a while. Like that's the most I ever see of clouds, but we were getting these grandiose clouds and stuff. It was crazy. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm really thirsty. I need to get something to drink and go home. So I appreciate you guys for chilling out with me on the Independence Day, and just remember, you know, the time clock is already been set for these people. I know I didn't go over like the full, like, you know, the 7 years and stuff like that, but just know, guys, that the end is coming really soon. So may peace be with you. Oh wait, well, you guys have stuff that you want to say. My bad. So that means the wealth and substance of this world and the cities thereof will all get thrown into the pit. Well, I'm not really sure. I just know that, you know, like we're gonna have our stuff rebuilt. So the most important thing is that we work on how close we are to the so-called Lord of the Lamb, as it says in that allegory, because he's the one that's going to have the dominion to give us these things, you know. And what I say on my channel is that you can know him the best by knowing the earth, because the earth is pretty much like his consort. The earth has angels, he has angels. It's that type of thing. I'm visual, so imagine it as a he, as he read. Oh, well, I have to really sit down and really like read it. I'm a visual person too, but I was kind of just reading at the end, because the end part, I'm not entirely sure of what it means. Like the beginning part, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the Babylonians, that's the Greeks, that's the Romans. But then I'm just like, okay, I'm not really sure, because the part I'm unsure about is stuff that hasn't happened yet. And that's why I'm unsure about it. But I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I appreciate you guys for coming by. So I'll catch you guys later. May peace be with you.